So we move on to our next presenter. I would now invite Dr. Y.S. Chaudhury, who is the principal investigator and coordinator for the CRTDH at IMMT Bhubaneshwar. Dr. Chaudhury.
A very good afternoon to all of you. So I'll not take much time. I'm in between your lunch, and so I'll be very brief. And we have a stall number 6 actually, where most of the things are displayed. Some prototypes are there, models are there, and also a detailed brochure there. So the kind of process, technology, or product which we have already developed, and the kind of intervention we are working further with the MSME are available there. So here at IMT, actually, this CRTTH was established in 2019 in the area of new materials and chemical processes. And this again, I need not to reiterate because already mentioned, because MSME is the backbone of this Indian economy, because they contribute almost 35 to 36% of the GDP. Although they are a small business, but have a very big impact. And their challenges is like they need to adopt some new technologies and also have to upgrade the skill. And also they have a very limited access to technologies. And considering all those, so these CRTDs have been established, and one of that CRTDs is at IMT Bhubaneshwar. Okay, so this is something which was just the foundation stone was laid in 2019 by the then Secretary DSIR, Professor Monday, and then formally inaugurated by the Honorable Minister of Science and Technology in 21. So this is the building anyway you have seen. So these are the areas where we have been working in chemical material processes, coatings, and new materials, which with the sub activities spanning all over the kind of expertise which and the infrastructure which we have at IMT, as you can see there. And the objective is like first is to provide hand holding to the MSMEs by imparting training and also skill development programs. To provide R&D and know-how support for the value addition of their products for the sustenance in the competitive market, and also to provide access to the already developed technologies and processes which are already there in IMT, and not only limited to the IMT because it's one of the institute of CSR. So we also link it to the other our sister labs in CSIR, which are 38 all across India, and also to provide the access to the very sophisticated testing facilities, because those small industries cannot afford to have a very high-end kind of a R&D kind of characterization kind of facility. So all those things are also provided, and we could see in the coming slides where the kind of intervention we have done. So this is something like the kind of engagement where we have been engaged and sensitized nearly more than 100 MSMEs, and as you can see in the different areas as I mentioned there, like in chemical analysis for coatings, material characterization, material and chemical processes, and environmental intervention or so on. And this is how they are spread over. Mostly the association with MSMEs are within Odisha, and there are some outside Odisha also across India, as you can see there, that and in different domains. So far we have been engaged with more than 110 MSMEs and have trained nearly 200 manpower that includes the entrepreneurs, agro entrepreneurs, and also the artisans, because we have been working on metal craft activity also, which I'll be speaking a bit later, and have transferred some of the technologies and know-how, nearly 40 numbers to 20 number of MSMEs, and some of them have already come to in market and which are being sold. In fact, one or two example I'll discuss. And this is kind of like the technology transfer, some of the examples which have been made to some of the MSMEs. So these are kind of technology. And as Dr. Chaklon mentioned, like during this COVID, and Dr. Gori also mentioned, so there was some know-how also that time. It was very much required, so few know-hows were transferred to those some of those small industries at that point of time. So now coming to the some of the activities, because I'm not going to discuss all the kind of process product which we have developed, but few I'm just going to give an example, but more details you can get at our stall. So this is one of the example where we have been able to produce potash enriched biochar, and which is very much required for the fertilizer application, and it is being marketed. In fact, as you can see this one picture, this it is being sold in the market, and it has been transferred to these two MSMEs, and one has already brought it in market. And apart from that, another example is for this incense or agarbatti manufacturing. So their particular kind of a very characteristic this charcoal is required. So that has been produced from paddy husk, and this technology has been already validated by one of this industries, Sandhya Aarti Private Limited, and we have already extended the support for the manufacturing and also trained some self-help group leaders in this direction. This is another example where we have developed some one molecule, small molecule for this metal pickling industry. So for the acid regeneration of sulfuric acid in the metal pickling process, and also for the selective removal of this iron 3 from the system target dissolved ferric salts and so on. And I think in detail our associate is there. He will be making a presentation in the afternoon on this. He is from Maharashtra, and also have developed this zero discharge water recycling toilet, so which is under validation, and produced this silicon carbide, which is almost 95% in purity from the rice husk. And this technology has already been transferred to LN Advanced Materials, and now trying to scale it up further. And this is another example where this again from Tasar waste pupa, this carbon has been produced, which is very conducting, so electronic grade carbon, and they are even I have not shown here, but already a prototype has been made for this RFID, those tags actually, so where they are using it, this electronic grade carbon. So that work is further going on for the further validation and subsequently to transfer it to the Pratik consultancy. And this is one small kind of an intervention, because one Ranjita Agro Foods, they approached us and they wanted some solutions. So it is a very low cost refrigeration kind of like, so where the temperature difference from the ambience can be 10 degree and the humidity is maintained, so it can be used by the vegetable vendors or fruit vendors to preserve those fruits or vegetables, and you can see the demonstration at the stall. And in Odisha, this metal craft is another important area, and those artisans, they really need some kind of scientific, technological kind of support. And for this, we have been working on various aspects. So one example is where this one furnace, which is a smokeless furnace, has been developed by NML, our sister lab, and that process has been demonstrated, and in fact has been transferred to one of the metal craft industry where they are using it. So the advantage of this furnace is because there is not much smoke, and it is very energy efficient. And also working on this to come up with a different kind of a formulation, like alternative materials instead of to replace the brass actually, so that they have a much more kind of a shining and luster and longevity. And also, like in those metal craft items, you can see that over a period of time, they lose their luster. So very low cost one siloxane coating has been developed, so where we could see almost 3 times improvement in the longevity, so the luster maintained. So those kind of things have been developed and are now being validated and are in negotiation for some of the things to transfer to the relevant industries. So this is the furnace which I discussed about, and there, as you can see, there is almost a reduction in the energy consumption by 20 to 30%, and the increase in the productivity by 30%, and less pollution. And as I mentioned, like we have been providing training. So in this case, those self-help group leaders also were trained for this agarbatti manufacturing by using this. The charcoal has been developed by one of my colleagues at IMT. And for sanitizer preparation also, nearly 30 number of these self-help group leaders were trained. So apart from that, AI is another important area, and there actually we have been working on that. And in one of the process, particularly in this iron ore industry, So what they do is the iron ore, it goes through the conveyor belt, and there the moisture and the size of those pellets has to be maintained. So there used to be a person who used to maintain that, but now sensing system has been developed by using this AI, where it keep monitoring the moisture content, and whenever is required, automatically it is discharged to that conveyor belt, the material, and also the size. So it has become the automated, and this technology has been transferred, and this has got quite a good kind of because we transferred it for 15 lakhs, and they have already made, I think, 3 orders, 1 crore each, kind of like the very recent. So this is one very successful kind of intervention we made. So now coming to, so these were some of the examples, but not limited, means there are many more which you can see at our stall. And these are the kind of facility which are available, so to do the work related to chemical or metallurgical process optimization or validation. So I need not to name them, as you can see there. And apart from that, this one facility, this is where we are able to earn quite a good amount of money, particularly from this, because a lot of this metallurgical, they need to know the tensile strength, compression, fatigue, and creep, and all other nut bolt test and all that. So we keep getting a lot of samples for the analysis, examination, and to give them the final report, so that they can accordingly decide to implement whatever the infrastructure they are going to develop with the steel and whatsoever. So we get quite a good amount of money from this facility, and it has been developed through CRDTH. And this is another furnace, and we have facilities for coating, so ranging from spray dryer to plasma to means many other kind of coating facilities are there, and also very elaborated testing facility for the to examine this corrosion resistance and optimize, and also to do the tribological coatings and so on. And for metal craft, as I mentioned, like that is another important area where we have been working. So a lot of facilities we have developed related to this metal craft, right from the casting, cutting machine to the polishing machine to furnaces, of course, which are various types available. And this is all like the infrastructure, the halls and all those things are available. And the details for the CRTDS, you can go through this website, which is mentioned there, and you can write to us. There is even inquiry form. You can fill that whatever the kind of intervention or problem you are facing. So we can see, and we can connect you with the concerned scientists from our institute who can be able to provide you the solution or something. So that can be, then that is how we undertake the problems. It's not working. No, it got stuck. No, no. Escape. Okay, yeah. Okay. So thank you very much, and I'll be happy to discuss now also, and also at the stall we can have a very detailed discussion. Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Thank you so much.